Welcome to the Cinecaps Plus. Today, we're going to take a look at the film called Equilibrium. If you're ready, let's get started. After World War III ended, some people wanted a peaceful world without fights. In a place called Libya, the leaders, known as the Tetragrammaton Council, said no to things that could make people feel too much. They made special soldiers called Grammaton clerics to find and stop people who broke this rule. One of these clerics, John Preston, went with his team to stop a group called the Underground in a place called the Nethers. They found some rebels and a special painting by Leonardo da Vinci. Preston ordered it to be burned along with other banned things. On their way home, Preston's partner, Errol Partridge, kept a book of poems by William Butler Yeats. Preston asked why he didn't leave it for the evidence team. Partridge said he didn't trust the team to keep proper records. The city's leader, Father, appeared on big screens, telling people to take medicine to stop their emotions. He said they found peace by getting rid of things that made them feel strong. Preston went to see Vice Consul DuPont and talked about how he could sense people's emotions. DuPont asked about Preston's family, and Preston said his wife had been arrested and burned for having emotions. DuPont said Preston made a big mistake because he didn't sense his own wife's emotions. Later, Preston checked the evidence and found Partridge hadn't turned in anything for weeks. He went to the Nethers to find him and caught Partridge reading the banned book. They argued, and Partridge reached for a gun. Preston shot him, and Partridge was replaced by a new cleric named Brant. When Preston got home, his son told him about a boy who cried, and Preston said he should report it. Preston dreamed about his wife being arrested. She kissed him and told him not to forget her. When he woke up, he dropped his medicine and went to get more but found the office closed due to terrorism. Brant picked him up and didn't ask if he got his dose. Preston and Brant raided a sex offender's house and found lots of banned stuff. The woman grabbed a gun, but Preston stopped Brant from shooting her. During questioning, the woman talked about Preston's purpose in life. Preston said he was there to serve the city and keep society going. The woman said his purpose was empty without emotions. One morning, Preston saw the sunrise and loaded his medicine but didn't take it. At work, he dropped his medicine and started rearranging his desk. Brant told him they had a mission in the Nether. During the raid, Preston touched an insurgent's eyes and felt bad when he died. They found more banned stuff, and Preston cried when he heard Beethoven's music. Brant asked about a book of nursery rhymes, and Preston said he wanted to log it himself because the team wasn't good at it. They found dogs at the compound, and Brant wanted to kill them. Preston hesitated but said okay. One puppy licked Preston's face, and he changed his mind, asking for it to be tested for diseases. In a meeting with DuPont, Preston suggested capturing rebels instead of killing them, but DuPont said to follow Father's orders. Preston checked Mary's stuff and took a ribbon. He went back to the Nether to release the dog, but it wouldn't leave. Officers came and recognized Preston. They heard the dog in the trunk. When Preston saw the dog, the officers told him to kneel down. But instead, Preston fought with the man and used their weapons to kill them. More men came to catch him, and Preston fought back with his own weapons, killing them all. At his home, Preston hid some things behind the mirror and then went to headquarters. While he was practicing sword fighting, his friend Brant interrupted him. Brant teased Preston about thinking about the bad things that happened last night. Brant said he was happy about it because their father wanted to stop people who were against them. After they finished sparring, Brant told Preston to get ready for another mission in Sector 7. During the mission, Preston found some rebels, but he didn't catch them. Instead, he helped them hide from the police and the clerics. At first, the rebels didn't trust Preston, but they saw him protecting them and started to trust him. When more officers came and asked Preston about the gunshots, he fought them while the rebels got away. After defeating the officers, Preston looked for the rebels, but they were caught and ready to be hurt. Brant wanted Preston to hurt them, but Preston thought they should talk to them. Brant gave Preston a gun, but Preston didn't want to use it. Finally, he gave it back to Brant and walked away. The police officers hurt the rebels, and Preston felt sad that he couldn't save them. Preston told DuPont that he was ready to help Father against the rebels. After the meeting, he went to the morgue to get Partridge's things before burning the body. In a small case, he found pictures he didn't recognize, but one had the word freedom on it. Preston went to see Mary and asked about Partridge. Mary said she didn't spend time with clerics, so Preston showed her a picture of her and Partridge together. When Preston said he killed Partridge, Mary tried to hurt him, but he stopped her. Preston realized they were in love. Preston learned more about Partridge's connection to the rebels and found out about a man named Jurgen. In a secret room, Jurgen told Preston they were watching him. Jurgen took Preston underground to see what the people were doing there. Jurgen tested Preston's emotions with a machine and noticed he had strong feelings for Mary. Jurgen said Preston could only be satisfied by falling in love with Mary. Preston told Jurgen that Mary would be burned the next day. Later, Jurgen warned Preston about controlling his emotions, as they could be dangerous. He asked Preston to kill Father for the resistance. After leaving the underground, police officers arrested Preston and took him to DuPont. DuPont heard rumors that clerics were stopping Prozium. Preston said he was trying to contact the rebels and promised to do more to infiltrate them. When he got home, he left another vial behind the mirror and watched his children sleep. Robbie woke up one morning and saw that he was holding a strange thing called a syringe gun. His friend Preston told him not to worry, though. Preston said he was just making sure Robbie took his medicine every day. The next day, when Preston met Mary, she figured out that Robbie hadn't been taking his medicine like he was supposed to. Mary saw that Preston seemed really confused and lost, so she reached out her hand to him, even though there were cameras around that could see them. Later on, Preston met Jurgen again and they talked about a plan to do something very important. They wanted to stop a leader named Father, but he was really hard to get to because he never met anyone face to face. Jurgen thought Preston was the right person for this job, even though Preston wasn't so sure. Jurgen told him that they needed to stop a place called Prozium from making bad things. He said that if they could just slow them down for one day, it would be a big win for their cause. Because Jurgen was so determined, Preston agreed to try to stop Father, even though he wasn't sure how to do it. Before he left, Jurgen warned him not to see Mary because it might make his new mission harder. Preston went to an office and watched some videos on the screens. Later, he decided to watch a video of his wife being taken away forever. He felt really sad that he didn't react more when it happened. Preston ran to a place called the incineration chamber to try to save Mary. But when he got there, it was too late. The person in charge told him that if they opened the door, it would cause an explosion. Preston held back tears as he listened to the countdown for Mary's end. When he finally couldn't hold back anymore, he cried outside the building. A man named Brandt arrested him and took him away. Brandt told another important person named DuPont that Preston was with a woman who did something wrong, and he also said that Preston had killed some police officers in the Nether. Preston reminded DuPont about his mission to find the bad person among the clerics. He said he found the traitor and it was Brandt. When DuPont checked the gun that was used to hurt the police officers, it turned out to be Brandt's gun. Brandt realized that Preston had switched the guns when he asked him to do something bad to the rebels. Preston told DuPont that Brandt took his gun when he arrested him. DuPont ordered Brandt to be taken away for a quick decision and something called combustion. Later, DuPont told Preston that the law required a search of his house. Preston agreed, but he was disappointed that he still hadn't met Father, even though he was helping to destroy the underground. Preston rushed home to get some important medicine called Prozium, but he couldn't find it. To his surprise, his son had it and told him that they stopped taking it after their mom was taken away. Preston met with the underground and called a council to tell them he found the resistance. On the day he was supposed to meet Father, he had to take a test and give up his weapon. They even asked him a tricky question about taking a weapon from a cleric. Brandt whispered the answer to him, and then Father talked to Preston over a video screen. Father revealed that he was actually DuPont and that the real Father had been gone for a long time. The council chose DuPont to take Father's place and keep doing what Father did. Preston was really mad because someone tricked him. He took out hidden guns from his sleeves and started shooting at a man in the room. Preston told DuPont that he was coming for him and started shooting at all the guards who tried to stop him. When he finally got to DuPont's room, Brandt was there too, standing with the vice counsel. Preston quickly got rid of more of DuPont's guards and then fought Brandt with a sword. When Brant swung his sword at Preston, Preston hit him 3 times really fast, and Brant fell down, his face all cut up. DuPont got a gun and tried to fight Preston, but Preston found a gun on the floor and defended himself. Even though DuPont was good at fighting, Preston beat him and took his gun away. DuPont was really scared of dying, so he begged Preston not to kill him. He said he had feelings just like the rebels did, and he asked Preston if it was worth feeling guilty for killing someone with feelings. But Preston didn't listen. He shot DuPont in the head and said he was okay with it. Before leaving the building, Preston broke the machine that was sending messages all over Libya. Then, there were explosions in the Prosium factories, and it was a signal for the rebels to fight against their rulers. You can subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and give a thumbs up to help the channel. Thanks for watching.